Wednesday show. Wednesday show. Wednesday show. Wednesday show. Is Herbie on his. I never look at the screen. He was slightly up on top of the Mickey Mouse car. These are cars from like the early 2000s. So Mickey Mouse there, Mickey Mouse there, Mickey Mouse there. And if I remember correctly, the doors, nope, the doors don't function. Do they function? No, they don't. Pretty cool though. That's from like the 2000s. There was like 6 of them in the series, and I've got all 6 of them kind of scattered around my condo here. I just don't know where the other ones are. Hello, everybody. We got some people slowly coming in here. So if you guys have not joined us over the last few weeks, I am still blocked out of Facebook. So I was on there for 2 hours today, about an hour and a half, 2 hours, with the people in the chat room trying to figure it all out. And we made progress. So they're going to send me a thing to get set it in sometime in the next 24 hours. So I don't know when in the next 24 hours, but hopefully sometime in the next 24 hours, I will have my Facebook back, and then we will be broadcasting live here and on the From Screen to Theme Facebook page starting next Wednesday, hopefully, as long as we can get it back. Hey, Kayla, how you doing? Okay, so tonight what we're going to do is we're going to be talking about the... You missed Facebook. Well, trust me, I feel bad because that's how I can contact a lot of my family. So it's like I'm like I was thinking, I wonder if my dad's cousin's wife is worried because she doesn't do anything with YouTube, but she does Facebook, and she likes every single one of my posts on Facebook. And I was like, I hope she doesn't think that I blocked her. There's a few people who I know through Facebook who do a lot of stuff through Facebook. And I just hope that they don't think that I got mad and blocked them, because if you look up Brent Dodge on Facebook, I just don't exist. So I'm worried about those people more than my account. I just want to get back in contact with people in my life. It's awful. It really is awful. I like I've always liked Facebook, but I didn't realize how connected I was to people through Facebook until I got hacked by some guy in Japan. Oh, he's probably not even in Japan. He's probably someplace else. Okay, but anyways, yes. Tonight we're going to be talking all about the Disney Treasure. Now, obviously, I have not been on the Disney Treasure because it hasn't set sail yet. But what we will do is we're going to talk about some of the stuff that we learned yesterday. We're also going to talk about some of the things that I think we'll be expecting to see based off of concept art. And then we'll also kind of talk about comparison between the Disney Wish and the Disney Treasure, because there's a lot of things that people have been talking about with this over the last 24 hours, and it kind of drives me crazy what people are saying, because we'll go into more of a comparison as we go through there. So we're going to start the 733rd episode of the Wednesday show in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 733rd episode of the Wednesday show. Today is September 6th, 2023, and I'm your host, as always, Brent Dodge. Hello. Today we're going to be going through and talking all about the Disney Treasure, the brand new cruise ship that will be setting sail next December for its very first voyage. But of course, before we get to that, let's talk about our news for the week. First off, thank you everyone out there who's been joining us for our Saturday in the Park. If you didn't already know, every single Saturday right here on this YouTube channel, we do a live broadcast from someplace found throughout the Walt Disney World Resort. You never know where we're going to be, but I promise you we will always be coming to you live from Disney. This past week, we came to you live from Tower of Terror. So it was very, very... I rewatched it later on, and I was like, I still like how you get the feeling of Tower of Terror, but at the same time, it's like a very dark episode where it's like, wait, are we in the... Okay, I'm assuming we're in the shaft right now. Just yelling up and down. And so you never know where we're going to be. So make sure you join us every single Saturday right here on my YouTube channel, and we'll go through them. And then, I see questions coming in too. Start throwing your questions in the comments too about, we're going to talk mainly about the treasure, but I see someone else we'll go through too. So wait, what was I came and said, oh, also speaking of our YouTube channel, make sure yeah, if you've not already known, we do a daily Disney video over on my YouTube channel. Plus, we go through and we also do shorts every single day. So make sure you keep on sending people over. Our current number is 3,116. As always, if that number grows as the show goes on here, we will go into extra innings here. So we're starting off at 3,116. We go up to 3,117 or more subscribers, we will go into a longer episode. And of course, as always, tonight's episode is sponsored by, we're not on the thing that usually has it pop up, so it's all about the mouse travel jazz hands. Make sure you stop by. It's all about the mousetravel.com for all of your Disney travel needs. All of their services are absolutely positively 100% free. So make sure you book with them for your next Disney vacation. Okay, let's see. Wait, hey, Brent, which number will be lower? Number of attractions you've done this year or days you'll be logged on Facebook? Oh, at this pace, it is driving me. It really is driving me crazy. My little brother and I, we usually talk every day, and it's all through Facebook Messenger. And I have no access to my Messenger right now either. So I have not heard from him for quite some time either. So everything is just kind of, yeah. Let's go through it. So tonight we're going to be talking all about the Disney treasure, and how wet do you actually get? Oh, that's a good question too. How wet do you actually get walking through the new Moana Journey of Water at Epcot? It depends. So there's dry paths and there's wet paths. So you can actually get through the entire thing without getting too wet. I mean, you'll get like a little wet, but nothing bad. But overall, yeah, I never got bad. My friend who joined me for the first, I've done 2 of the tours so far. So the first tour I did was with 2 of my friends, and one of them actually wore a swimming suit like under their clothes because they just assumed that they're going to get soaked. And then they were like shocked that they did not get soaked. I figured you're not going to get too wet because you are inside of a theme park and you're going to have to be sitting in other spots. So I would say it's equivalent to maybe getting wet on Splash Mountain. But I wouldn't say as far as Cali River Rapids, if you're going for a measurement there. Yeah, you don't get soaked, but you could get soaked if you want to get soaked. There was one time where I got really wet the first time. The second one, I got wet, but I didn't get bad. So, but at the same time, there's literally clear paths throughout the entire thing saying wet path, dry path, wet path, dry path. And when you first get there, it does have a thing that says all service animals are required to go on the dry path only. So yeah, you don't get too wet. All right, let's go. We're going to talk about the Disney treasure. So if you did not hear yesterday, Disney did a full video. It was about a 25-30-minute video all about the brand new Disney Cruise Line ship, the Disney Treasure. Now, we learned a whole lot about this ship during this thing, and then it also left quite a few questions too, because there are some theories that I now have based off of what we heard and what I think might be coming in the near future. But we're going to have to kind of go through all that as we go through here. So let's first kind of talk a little bit about what we learned. Actually, let's first talk about the biggest thing that came out of it, which was we kept on hearing that the ship would be sailing in 2024, but we never had a date. Now we do have a date. It will be December of 2024. And actually, if you go on the Disney Cruise Line website, you can actually see that it has the dates up there right now. Actually, these dates, this money for the first one is absolutely insane. So let's look it up here because we will see if maybe we can start a collection and we can all go together because that's, we'll figure it out here. So let's go through here. We're going to pull up the cruise line. Did you find any hidden Mickeys in the Moana area? No. But we'll go through. We'll talk about that one after we talk about the treasure here. We'll go through and do more of those questions as well. All right, so let's start off with our Disney treasure. Okay, so we got December 2024 flight selections. All right, so we got our Disney treasure here. If we would go and set sail, let's set sail. I wanna be. If we want to set sail on the very first ever sailing of the Disney Treasure, it would cost us a whopping, wait a minute, where is it at? It popped up and then disappeared. Where's it at? Oh my gosh, there we go. For the lowest price, it would cost $8,773 for an inside room with just the porthole, like the little fake porthole, like that, not even the real porthole. So if you wanted to, you could go through and spend $8,773 for an inside room. If you had an ocean view room with no veranda, it would cost $9,431. If you had a veranda for that first cruise, $11,769. By the way, this is for two people. And then if you did concierge for two people on the first sailing, $24,957. $25,000 to do a 7-night cruise. Thankfully, it would be a 7-day cruise and not a shorter cruise. But that is absolutely insane. So this is my plea to you guys. If you want to be a Patreon pal, so I can go, no. My hope is that hopefully I can get onto the media list before this time comes, but I don't know. It's gonna be tough for me to get into the media list. I just have to get more subscribers on here and also more followers over on Instagram in order to be considered for that media list. But if you know anyone, send them over because I would love to set sail on this thing before anyone else sets sail. But that is an insane amount of money to spend on this brand new ship. Okay, so that'll be setting sail mid-December. Actually, the first cruise ever goes through Christmas itself. So if you want to set sail and celebrate Christmas on the cruise ship, that's the way to do it. Okay, so when we went through and we got all of this information, we got a ton of information. And like I said, we also got some stuff that is not the exact same thing. Now, this is going to be a sister ship of the Disney Wish. And I want to explain this because there's a lot of people online. I was watching the live video of this thing. And while I was watching the live video, there was a lot of people who are saying, well, this is very similar to the Wish. It's very similar to the Wish. It's very similar to the Wish. And I'm still thinking, they're sister ships. It is going to be similar to the Wish. So let me explain how these sister ships work. So there are 3 different classes of Disney ships right now. There's the Magic class, which is the Disney Magic and the Disney Wonder. They are sister ships. They have the same design, the same kind of look, and overall, the majority of the stuff that is found inside is going to be pretty much the same. Now, prior to a few years ago, all 3 restaurants on the Magic and the Wonder were the exact same restaurants. And as time has gone on, they had it so there was a restaurant called Carioca's. It was like my least favorite restaurant that was on any of the Disney Cruise Line ships. It just didn't have that. There wasn't enough detail on board to make me happy. It was still fun, but it just didn't have enough detail that I was like, okay, like I feel like I'm fully immersed in the storyline. All they really had was a few different hidden Jose, Carioca, Panchito, and Donald Ducks kind of hidden throughout the restaurant, but that was about it. There was not a whole lot there. And, but yeah, so what they did was they had it so those 2 are sister ships, and then the next one is the Fantasy, the Dream class, which is the Dream and the Fantasy. They're sister ships, so it's the same build, it's the same outlook, everything else like that. Before they even built the Wish, they announced that the Wish, along with 2 other ships, were going to be the sister ships, which means they're going to be the exact same structure on the inside. It's just going to be different theming on the inside. So essentially what we have at the Wish, that structure that we have on the Wish, is going to be the exact same structure that we will have coming into the brand new ship as well. So the Treasure and the Wish, if you have been in one and you go to the other one, you should have a pretty good idea of how to navigate your way around the ship, because it's going to be the same layout, but it's just going to have different themings inside. So let's take a look at how this is, because when you walk into the Wish, side note, Wish is my favorite one of the 5 cruise ships so far. I just love the theming inside. I think the storytelling from start to finish is really, really well done. Not to say I don't like the other 4. I love all 5 Disney cruise ships, but overall, I feel like I was fully immersed in the Wish more than I was with the other ones. And I think the Aqua Mouse was a great attraction. I think the restaurants were absolutely amazing. I feel like, I don't know. I just had a really good experience when I was on the Wish. I want to get back on the Wish desperately. Maybe Friday. It's not going to happen, but Friday there is still availability on Friday. I was looking at it before the show. So when you go on the Wish, the first thing you do, as you do for all the different ships, is you go into the main atrium. Now, the Wish is considered the castle of the seven seas, while the treasure is going to be the adventure of the seven seas. So when you go onto the Wish, the very first thing you do is they want to have it so it's fully immersed to feel like you're inside of a castle, kind of like Cinderella's castle, which is why Cinderella, along with Jacques, Gus, Lucifer, and a glass slipper, are the main things that you see when you first walk into that lobby. So the main statue that's inside that lobby is Cinderella, and right behind her, in her dress, is Jacques and Gus, and then Lucifer is right behind them, trying to catch them as well. And then over on the staircase, we have the glass slipper, of course, from the movie Cinderella. In this one, we are going to have Aladdin, Jasmine, along with the magic carpet, so three characters, um, as the main statue. And then at the end of the staircase, we will have the magic lamp, which also makes me wonder what is going to be our next sister ship, because we are going to have three ships that are going to have the identical structure and layout. What is going to be the third one, and what is going to be the characters, along with most likely another little icon from the film that you can find at the end? Because if we have an icon like the magic lamp and the glass slipper, the next one has to be kind of similar as well. That's just my thought. I haven't really completely gone through and tried to figure it out, but I've just been trying to figure it out the last 24 hours, and I'm thinking that that's what we're going to have. But anyways, so our main area is going to be kind of with the treasure themed. So unlike the Wish, which is very bright, very colorful, this is going to be a lot darker because it's more mysterious. We are going off into the wonderful world of Disney Adventures. So when we're going through the wonderful world of Disney Adventures, there are going to be several different things that you go through with the idea of treasure hunting, with what was the other word I was going to say? With treasure hunting, and with just the idea of going on a great adventure like we do with so many different Disney films. Now, on the back of the ship, we do have two Disney characters as usual. On the back of the Wish, we did get Rapunzel along with Pascal. On this one, we're going to have Peter Pan along with Captain Hook. So let's talk a little bit about some of the similarities that we have on the Wish, and then we're going to talk a little bit about our predictions. Keep on throwing your questions into the comments below. We're going to answer as many questions as possible. Okay, so let's first talk a little bit about the Aqua Mouse, because that was the first thing they talked about in the whole program. So when we go through and go on the Aqua Mouse on the Wish, there are two different storylines that are happening when you go on there. So depending on which day you actually go on the Aqua Mouse, you might have one storyline or you might have a different storyline. The two storylines that are found on the Aqua Mouse on the Wish are the Under the Sea thing, where it's got like Donald and Daisy dressed as mermaids. And we're kind of going through on a treasure hunt. So it kind of fits in well with the idea of working on the treasure. And there are about 5 or 6 different screens as you go up. And those 5 or 6 different screens go through and they tell an entire story about Mickey and Minnie going through and trying to find a treasure. And then all of a sudden a massive wave takes them and you down through the other side of the water slide on the other side of the ship. The other one that's on the Wish is also going through and climbing a mountain, aka the Matterhorn. And while you're going up on the Matterhorn, you have it so there's different things like the abominable snowman's coming after you, different things like getting snow thrown at you, but it's water. And then at the very top, an avalanche happens, and that takes you down as well. In this one, we are getting rid of that one, as far as I can tell. Maybe we're going to have 3. Who knows? Actually, it'd be really cool if we got 3. But instead of having one of them, most likely right now it looks like we're going to have the Under the Sea one. And it also looks like we're going to have one that is going to be called The Curse of the Golden Egg. Again, we're going to be going through and getting a storyline as we go up to the top. And then at the second half of the thing, we'll be going through on the water slide. Overall, I'm very excited about it. I love Disney water slides. I love okay, so if I had to go through and like rank the water slides of the Disney cruise ships, I really like the Aqua Mouse. I just like the idea of having a story being told. I think the only problem with the Aqua Mouse, in my opinion, is I wish there was a little bit more of a thrill factor throughout more of the ride. But most of the ride is you going up. But it just makes sense because they need to take you up to go down. So it's a very slow moving way up, but at the same time, you get a cool story out of it too. I love the Aqueduct because from start to finish, it's a great thrill ride. And the Aqueduct, I cannot wait to do again at some point in my life because the Aqueduct is on the Disney Magic only. And it's one of those where like you're in the tube and then you hear Huey Dewey go 3, 2, 1, Aqueduct. And then the floor drops off below you and you dunk into the ocean pretty much. Overall, a lot of fun. So all of the ones are extremely fun, but I always love the idea of the Aqua Mouse because if you've been following us for any time, whether it's one day or years, you probably know that I just absolutely love storytelling. I love having details. Love having like a full immersive experience. And unlike the Aqua Duck and the Aqua Dunk, I feel like the Aquamouse gives us a full, solid storyline from start to finish. It might not be the most thrilling of the water slides, but I love the entire immersion of the story from start to finish. And that's why I've always loved it. I think it's just a great one. It was one of the few things that I purchased from one of the few. I bought a lot of stuff on the Wish, but it's one of the things I bought on the Wish was a poster of the Aquamouse because I love it. I love it so much. Oh wait, we just spent a lot of time just on the one thing. So keep on throwing your questions into the comments. We're going to go through because we've got a lot of different things listed here on my list. The next one we're going to talk about is Jumbo's Sweets. Now, Jumbo's Sweets is going to be themed around the popsicles that can be found in the movie Zootopia. Now, if you remember Zootopia, in the Zootopia, there's Nick Wilde. Nick Wilde goes in, he buys some ice cream, he melts it down, he makes it into popsicles, and then he sells them for a more expensive price than what he paid for the ice cream, and he becomes rich. It's called the hustle, sweetheart. So he goes through and he creates all this different stuff. Now, on the Wish, we have it so that sweet spot is based around Inside Out. This one that's going to be found on the treasure is actually going to be based around Zootopia. So in the center of the room, we're going to have a little statue of Judy Hopps along with Nick Wilde sitting there eating ice cream. And then along the wall, there's going to be different paintings of different characters from the film. Overall, love the idea of the theming. I think Zootopia has needed some more theming around the different Disney parks and the ships. And I think this is going to be kind of the perfect tie-in to bring it into the Seven Seas. Overall, last time at the Inside Out one, I got one thing. I got ice cream. Who knew? I got ice cream. It was really delicious. I actually got a Bing Bong ice cream thing. Who's your friend that likes to play Bing Bong? Where's it at? Is it right? No. Oh, there it is. Wait, we'll get it. There we go. It came in this right here. Who's your friend that likes to play Bing Bong, Bing Bong? And then on the back of it, we got the Disney Cruise Line logo. Overall, really cool. And the ears fold down, so it's easier to carry. But then they serve the ice cream. I've been open for a while, so it's stuck. Oh, wait. So in place of that one, we're going to have a brand new thing called Jumbo's Treats, which is going to be themed around Zootopia. Going off of that, we also have it. So if you remember on the Disney Wish, there is a massive 2-story amphitheater. Maybe not massive, but it's a pretty cool room. And it's called Luna. It's based off of the short cartoon Luna. And overall, it was one of my favorite parts of the entire cruise because one, that's where they usually do the trivia. I love trivia. And two, that's where they do the bingo. I like bingo too. You have a problem with all your popcorn bucket sippers and ice cream pals. Eric says that in the chat room, but Eric is the one who's like, you need that, man. You really need that. Because I really did. Look at it. Look at it. It's Bing Bong. Who's your friend that likes to play Bing Bong, Bing Bong? I love Bing Bong. I just think Bing Bong is such a great character. So what were you talking about? Oh, so Luna, one of the cool things about the Luna Lounge is if you look at the stars, you can actually see different Disney characters are actually found inside the stars. In this one, we are not going to get Luna. We're going to get Sarabi. Sarabi is the name of Simba's mother. And in the background, it looks like we got a massive thing of Pride Rock. I'm also wondering if maybe in the stars here, we'll also have maybe Mufasa, because Mufasa does appear in the stars at one point in the film. And of course, all the great kings of the past. Those the stars up there. Or I think they're just big balls of gas burning millions of miles away. And of course, Pumbaa's right in that whole thing. So we'll get Sarabi where Luna is. Overall, I think it could be really good. Okay, so going on to our next one, we did hear more about the Walt Disney Theater. Now, this video that they showed us, some of the stuff was with artist renderings where this guy's walking through. His name was Arthur. He's just like walking through this whole storyline. Some of it was artist renderings, and then some of it was actually real stuff that we saw him on the actual Wish. On this one, when we saw the Walt Disney Theater, it was the exact same theater as the Wish. So I'm assuming that they just went over there to the Wish and they filmed it. And I'm assuming that most likely the Wish's Walt Disney Theater will be the exact same theater that we have on the Wish. Again, they are sister ships. So I'm guessing that that's what we're going to have. They did announce we will get Beauty and the Beast. The musical will be there along with a brand new show. And that's all they would tell us for the time being. But overall, I like Beauty and the Beast show. It's amazing. It's on the Dream. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend it. It's based off the live action film, not the animated film, but it's really well done, and it might be one of my favorite. I don't think it's my favorite, but it's one of my favorite uh, Broadway style musicals that they have on the Disney Cruise Line. Oh wait, over where the Bayou is going to be that bar that's located between the front of the ship over by the Walt Disney Theater and the atrium. There's that little area on deck 4. I can't remember. But where the Bayou is, over by the Hyperspace Lounge, right near where you actually enter into the ship. So over there where we have the Bayou, now it's going to be a Skipper Society. Now the Skipper Society is going to be based around the Jungle Cruise, the world famous Jungle Cruise from Disneyland, Magic Kingdom, several different Disney parks around the world as well. And we're going to have it so it is going to be, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Skipper Cantina over, or Skipper's Canteen over at Magic Kingdom, where it's going to have drinks that are themed around the attraction and also humor from the bartenders that fit with the attraction as well. I'm hoping that it might be a little bit of that, but I'm really hoping they kind of go on the Trader Sam side and really go into deep of like, because if you've ever been to Trader Sam's over at Polynesian or over at Disneyland Hotel, they have it so the entire thing is themed around Trader Sam from the Jungle Cruise, and they go into so much more detail. And I'm really hoping that's the way that they go with it. But right now, from the artist rendering, it looks like we're going to have like the little canopy from the Jungle Cruise boats is going to be above you, and then some special drinks there as well. In addition to that, another bar that's going to be opening up is the Periscope Pub. It looks like this is most likely going to be where the Hyperspace Lounge currently sits on the Disney Wish. This is going to be themed around 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, the 1954 to 4. I think it's 4. 1954. I'm sticking with 4, but it might be wrong. Let me know in the chat room if I'm wrong. But it's the 1954 film, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And overall, it looks like you're actually inside the Nautilus. There's different portholes looking out towards the ocean because you're underwater. You're in a submarine at this point. And it's going to have it so you go through and you can look through all the different stuff. So it looks like it could be really cool. I'm assuming that we're going to have some squids going by. We're going to also see some really cool things going by through the portholes as well. I kind of feel like it might be using that technology that they use on the inside port rooms where there's the portholes and you can look through and you can actually see outside and you see different Disney characters out on the water. I'm hoping that that's what we have here as well. In addition to that, we did get the announcement of Worlds of Marvel will be coming back. Worlds of Marvel is my least favorite restaurant on the Disney Wish. I love 1923. I loved Arendelle. But out of those three, my least favorite was Worlds of Marvel. So Worlds of Marvel will be coming back. However, we did get the announcement of a brand new restaurant coming, which is going to be the Plaza de Coco restaurant, themed around, of course, the movie Coco. This looks like it'll be in the location where Arendelle currently sits on the Wish, because it looks like in the center of the entire room, they're going to have a massive party going on with different musicians, including Miguel, out there celebrating all night long, or all dinner long, I should say, because then they're going to kick you out at the end of the day. So overall, it looks like it's going to be a great restaurant, and I cannot wait. Oh wait, in addition to that, we heard more about some of the rooms. We got the veranda staterooms. There's going to be Aladdin theme. I don't know if these are all going to be Aladdin themed. I'm assuming we're not going to get all Aladdin themes, but the ones that they showed us yesterday were Aladdin themed rooms. We also saw the concierge suites will have a Lion King theme. There's going to be four two-story am I saying this right so far? Yes. Suites. I should just read out the notes. 4 royal two-story royal suite themes around Bagheera. Bagheera, of course, is the panther from the Jungle Book, and Raja, who is the tiger from Aladdin, Jasmine's pet tiger. So they're going to be 2-story suites. There's going to be 4 of them on board. And overall, I think this looks pretty cool. I don't think I could ever afford it, but overall, it does look really cool to have it. So we're going to have these 2-story suites themed around 2 different Disney characters. I think it's kind of a cool idea. And I think the 2 characters they're choosing are different contrast enough that I think it could be a really interesting thing if one floor is all Bagheera, so it's like a darker theme that's like a panther, and then the other one's more bright colors like a tiger would be. So like I said, I don't know. We'll find out more about it when it opens. But that's what we have right now for the 2-story royal suite themes. In addition to that, we are also going to have the Tomorrow Tower Suite. So if you have gone on the Wish there is the 2 funnels. The funnel that's at the front is actually a suite. It's like a 2-story suite there. It's the most expensive room that you can actually book on board, and it's a 2-story suite. And we never really heard too much about it besides the fact that we have this really cool suite that's a 2-tower suite inside of the funnel. And we're getting that again here on the Wish, but this time it's going to be Tomorrow Theme Suite, or I'm sorry, Tomorrow Tower Suite, and it's all going to be themed around Epcot. I think this one's going to go like crazy, mainly due to the fact that there are so many different Epcot fans out there. Our final thing that they talked about yesterday during the thing was the idea of the Oceaneers Club. And when they went through and talked about the Oceaneers Club, they mainly showed different things from the Oceaneers Club on the Wish. So I'm assuming because they are sister ships, we'll probably get some of the same things. My godson went with me last time. Hi, Thomas. He might be watching. I'm not sure. My godson watched last time, or went with me last time that I went on the Wish, and he loved this kids club. We also went on the Fantasy together, and between the two, he seemed like he loved the one on the Wish a whole lot more than he loved the one on the Fantasy. So the kids club, in my opinion, is probably one of the coolest, if not coolest, one of the coolest suites that kids clubs areas that we've ever seen. In there, they've got World of Marvel, they got Star Tours, they got an Imagineering lab, they got a princess area. It's so much stuff down there, and it takes up like almost the entire floor. So overall, one of the cool things. Any Haunted Mansion stuff going to be on this cruise? I've heard a lot of people talking about how there's going to be Haunted Mansion stuff. We did not get any notifications about Haunted Mansion stuff. So right now, in my expert opinion, which is not that expert for this right now, but I'm thinking we might get something Haunted Mansion. But right now, I'm kind of thinking most likely no. But who knows? Like I said, who knows? We'll find out more as the year goes on, because we do have a little bit over a year until we actually find out all the different stuff. Now, I'm trying to find the picture right now, but there is a map that is going around online. And actually, more importantly, there is a map that they kept on going to during, maybe I'll find that. Let's make sure the volume's off here. So while they're going through the Disney Wish yesterday, they kind of kept on going to this map. And while they're going through this map, the map would show different items found around the ship. And they would kind of have it so it was like a treasure map going from one spot to another spot, with the home base being Agrabah. But some of the times when they would go past stuff, there was things there that they never talked about. Things like a Mulan area. Now, when it comes to a Mulan area, I'm not really sure what they would do with it. But at the same time, I could see a Mulan area being kind of a cool, like, if they went like a China themed for one of the lounges, I think that would be pretty cool. I can't really imagine what else they would do with a Mulan area besides that. On top of that, they also went through and they had it so at one point there was different huts, and the huts looked like Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, and Pluto. If you went on the Wish, again, their sister ships on the top deck, they did have it so there was the Festival of Flavors, which featured Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, and Pluto. And they would have it so each one of the different stations was a different food-based place based around each character. Overall, all of those things were pretty cool. But here, I'm pulling up the map here, trying to figure it all out. Okay, we got the Donald Duck slide. No, take me to the other one. I'm just like, have the video on right now. Oh, up. So there's an up themed area too that we have not heard about yet. But at one point on the map, we do go by Paradise Falls. We also have it so you see Carl Fredrickson's house there with a bunch of balloons. Again, we don't really know what's going on in this area. But if I had to take a guess, So one of the I loved everything about the Wish, but if I had to change something in the Wish, like if you said you have to change something right now, the thing that I would probably change is when you would go to the area that was up by the Marceline Marketplace, you would go up to the second floor, and while you were in that second floor, they actually had it so there was a hero zone. Now, this hero zone just wasn't really used that often during the cruise, mainly because they would set it up and take it down. And while they were going through and setting it up and taking it down, it just kind of sat there. So we didn't really get to learn a whole lot more about it. And because of that, it just wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't that exciting to me. So I'm hoping that maybe instead of the hero zone, we'll have something more permanent that's still like an interactive area, but something that's sitting there for a whole lot longer. On top of that, I'm looking at the thing here, trying to figure out. So another thing that they did show was Rex along with Trixie from Toy Story movies, the two dinosaurs. When we go through on the Wish again, you have the Aqua Mouse as the main slide, but there's also another slide featuring Partysaurus Rex. I'm assuming that this is just what it's going to be. I think there's going to be a Partysaurus Rex slide on this one too, just mainly due to the fact that we have those two there. And then they also had it so there was a little Toy Story area, and because of that, I think that's just going to what we're going to do. We're going to have a little play area based around Toy Story again, or like like the little water area, and then on addition to that, we'll also have it so we'll go through. If Brent Dodge had as many followers as subscribers as the number of Disney details he knows, he had more followers than I know. That's true. Okay, what else do we have there that we might have missed? Bum, 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 bum. That's our Jungle Cruise one. We've talked about the Jungle Cruise. I'm just looking at the map, but they kind of go to the map in between every few seconds. So I just keep on fast forwarding. Then we have the Nautilus, which we talked about. Start throwing your questions in the comments below, and we will answer any and all questions as we go through here. But if anyone out there has any questions while we go through, I would love to answer them. So we're going through the map again. This time we're going to go up to, where are we going? Is this Worlds of Marvel? It looks like it's going to be Worlds of Marvel. Yeah, Worlds of Marvel. The Worlds of Marvel part, they spent a lot of time on, mainly because they already had the Worlds of Marvel there, so they could film a lot of stuff in there. But for me, it was like the most unexciting part. I was like, okay, just get through this part because we've been in Worlds of Marvel before. We want something new, something fresh. But at the same time, when I talk about something new and something fresh, I also want to point out that when you go from the dream, or I'm sorry, from the magic to the wonder, there's not as much new stuff from ship to ship. Same thing with the dream to the fantasy. Is when you go from the dream to the fantasy, the only thing that's really there that's new is they have the Aqua Lab on the fantasy. They didn't have it on the dream, and then they also added one more interactive game on the ship. Besides that, there really was not a lot of brand new things that we had from ship to ship. So going from the Wish to the Treasure, we have so much more details that have already been shared with us than we had from the dream to the fantasy and from the magic to the wonder. So I don't understand why there's so many people who are upset that like it's the same theme, because yes, it's the same theme, but at the same time, it's a lot more than what we had from one time to another time. All right, I'm just taking one more look at the map here. Oh, we have another section that we didn't bring up earlier. The island from The Incredibles is also on the map. So I'm thinking that might be the hero zone. That will probably be the hero zone. And now I'm trying to figure out what up would be. Maybe up would be a lounge where you feel like you're flying. I don't know. There's a lot of lounges on the ship, which I don't mind. But we'll see. Okay, let's start going through your questions. If anyone out there has any questions, start throwing them in. I'm just taking one last look at the map here. We got the Coco restaurant they're showing right now. And then after the Coco restaurant, eventually the guy's like, I'm so sad. I miss my family. And then he ends up back on the top of the deck, and they're like, oh, look, here's your family. And then they realize that spending time with family and friends is the best way to spend a Disney cruise. Oh, how nice. But at the same time, if I could get a cheap enough cruise, I love my family and I love my friends, but I'm going on the cruise. Okay, let's go through your questions here. Well, I'm so glad I got an Expedia and Verbo ad before I could join. You're welcome. Any haunted mansion stuff on the cruise? We already answered that one. I want that map in canvas form. I do too. That map is one of the coolest maps I've ever seen in my life. And even if it had nothing to do with a cruise, I just think it's such a cool map. So yes, I want that map as well. And I want to see, like, I just want to look at all of it and just kind of figure it all out from there. Do you think there will be a new Marvel show since guests will be in the restaurant twice? That is a great question. So I asked my friends on the cruise. So my friends went on the Wish on a 4-night cruise, and the restaurant they had twice was Marvel. So I said, "Hey, which what did they do on the second night?" And they said, "We went to Enchante." So we don't know. So, but with a little bit more research, what I found out from people was the second night. So the first night they did the show, the second night they just kind of went through. Remember at the start? I don't know if you. I think Frank Pham. I'm pretty sure you went on the Wish. But you know how at the start of the Wish show, they would go through and they would show you like different clips from different Marvel films. Essentially, the second night was just a more glorified version of that. So you would have that, and then you would go into even more movies and stuff like that, and it would just kind of go through the entire night where you're watching different clips from Marvel movies. So overall, nice, but I don't know. I love Marvel. I really, really love Marvel. But for me, it just wasn't that cool of a restaurant. I think just mainly because the details were lackluster, unless except for the screens. Like the screens were the best part of it. But if you didn't have the screens there, it would just be the most dull, boring restaurant in the history of mankind. Think they will do a documentary like they had for The Wish? I love that one. I really hope so. I really, really hope so. I'm assuming that they're probably out there right now with a film crew going through and building everything. And then as the year goes by, the next, what is it going to be, like 15 more months? Yeah, 15 months. Over the next 15 months, I think they'll just kind of have it so we go through a progression of that. I was talking to someone the other day who said that their friends have helped with different cruise ships. And they said, depending on your department, you might be there for the whole time, and other times you might be there for 3 months, and then you're gone for the rest of the time. And then they just hope that your work was good enough to start. So, but I'm hoping, I'm really, really hoping that we will get another documentary. If you've not watched the documentary, it is on Disney Plus. I've watched it multiple times now, but they go through essentially talking about how they created the Wish from start to finish. And it's just a really cool documentary that everyone should check out if you're a fan of the Disney Cruise Line or just a fan of Disney. If you've never done a cruise, you can do it. Will you get No Way Jose's on the cruise? No, they do not sell No Way Jose's on the cruise, so I will not do that. I just hit one of my wall decorations just fell down. This pin right here. Aha. If they had No Way Jose's on board, definitely I would. All right, keep throwing your questions out there. We got about 15 more minutes out there. Otherwise, if no one asks any more Disney treasure questions or cruise line questions in the next few minutes, then we'll just go to regular questions as well. That's Red Hot Tamale. Are you here? Yes, you are. I just saw your comment on my other video. Well played. So, okay, that's actually cruise line related. So today I was over at One Man Stream, or Walt Disney Presents One Man Stream. And while I was at Walt Disney Presents, they have a cruise line section there. So I was on the phone with my dad, and while we were there, we were talking about the treasure and the things that they kind of announced. And so I kind of like gravitated towards that area. And while I was on the phone with him, I was looking. And while you're on the ships, do I have something that can help stress this detail? No, I don't. Not within arm's reach. Do I? No, I don't. So if you're on the ships, at the front of the ship, there is the. Right? No. There's the thing that says like the Disney Magic, Disney Wonder, Disney Dream, Disney Fantasy, Disney Wish. And I was looking at it, and I never really thought about the fact that the Magic and the Wonder, where it says Disney Magic, Disney Wonder, it's on the white part of the ship. So there's the blue and there's the white. So it's on the white, and yes, that is blue. I had someone who corrected me not that long ago, um, and no, it's blue. It's called Monica blue to be specific. It's a dark enough blue that it looks black from far away to match Mickey Mouse's color. So there's black, white, yellow, and the yellow is the lifeboats, and then the red is the smokestacks. So all four main colors of Mickey Mouse are represented on there. But I noticed that the white was on. Oh, here we go. Maybe not. It's stuck on the wall. I noticed that the names for the Disney Magic and the Disney Wonder were written on the white portion, and then the fantasy was on the blue portion. And then I looked at the picture of the dream, thinking, okay, it's gonna be on the blue portion because it's the sister ship, and it's on the white portion. And I was looking at it, and I was thinking, that doesn't make any sense at all. Why would they do that? And then I realized, and I've looked at this picture so many times, I don't know how I never realized this until today. When I looked at it, I was like, oh, that's not the dream, that's the wonder. And sure enough, I looked closer, and if you look at the side of it, it says the Disney Wonder. It's missing the aqueduct, and I don't know how I've never missed the fact that it's missing the aqueduct before, but sure enough, it's missing the aqueduct. So they just did not have a picture of the Disney Wonder or Disney Dream apparently, and they just threw a picture of the Disney Wonder on there instead. Instead of throwing a picture of the Disney Fantasy, which would have the aqueduct, the sister ship. So yes, I was blown away today when I noticed that, and I had to share it with the world, and that's why that was my video today on my YouTube Shorts, because it blows my mind. It still blows my mind. Like, it's been a few hours, and I'm still like, I can't believe that no one's caught that until today. I'm sure someone else has caught it at some point. Maybe not. Maybe I'm the first person, but it's been out there for a few years, so who knows? Let me get a drink, and then we'll go to our next questions here. Keep on throwing your questions to the comments. We'll answer as many questions as possible over the next 15 minutes here. Okay, have you ever done a double dip? I've never done a double dip. I don't have enough money for a double dip. I work at a job that doesn't pay me enough, and and then I also make some money doing YouTube and Instagram, but I don't make enough to do a double dip. Maybe someday I will have enough money to do a double dip. For those of you guys who have never heard of a double dip or don't know what we're talking about, double dip is, let's say tomorrow. Now, let's say Friday, just because I know it's set in sale on Friday, and I literally have been looking at the prices for a while, and I'm trying to hopefully maybe find a cheap thing, but it just never happens. But on Friday, the Disney Wish set sale, and it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It gets back Monday, and then on Monday, after it drops everyone off, later on that day, it will set sale again for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Comes back, and then it's Friday. So essentially what happens is when you do a double dip, it's getting on the ship on that Friday. You set sail Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then come back, or you're not to come back. You can get off the ship, and then you recheck in, and then same day, Monday, hop back on board and continue Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So you're essentially doing the same ship twice. I know someone who did it on the Fantasy once, and the Fantasy is 7 days. So they were on there for 14 days, and that's the dream. Like, that is the greatest dream in the world. I wish, like I said, I wish I had the money to be able to pull it off. I just don't have the money to pull it off. So, yeah. But yeah, I would love more than anything to do a double dip at some point, but someday. We also need to figure out, we should really do a cruise sometime together, all of us. We should do another From Screen to Theme cruise, or Brent Dodge cruise, or Wednesday show cruise, whatever you want to call it, cruise, sometime in the near future. I just don't know when we can do it, but I like the off season a lot more than I like the on season because it's cheaper. Who wants to do a cruise? Let's do a cruise. Let me know Let me know in the comments. One, who out there has been on a Disney cruise, and two, if you've gone on one, how many have you actually gone on? And three, on top of that, what's the order of your favorite ships? You can go with me on Saturday. You're leaving Saturday, which means you're going on with Fantasy. This may be the most important question ever asked, so here it goes. Did you finish all the food on that plate at Diamond Horseshoe yesterday? I got really close, not gonna lie. So in case you did not see my stories yesterday, I was walking past Liberty Tree Tavern and I deleted the picture? No. Oh, but I sent it to my friend, so it'll still be on that chat. Yesterday I was at Magic Kingdom. Yes. Okay. So the last 2 weeks, ever since I got, oh, I did not. No, I did not send him the picture. I thought I did. I just sent him the menu. Um, the last 2 weeks, ever since I got the thing with Jogger, ever since my Facebook got hacked, it's been like a stressful 2 weeks. So much has been going on with just the social media stuff, and then on top of that, also um, work has been crazy, and there's just been so much going on. And yesterday, I got to the park, and at one point, I was actually thinking, while I was like walking in the park, thinking it would be great to go to someplace like Liberty or Tavern. Like I need a good meal, and I just need to relax, and I need to treat myself. And I was walking past Liberty Tree Tavern, and I saw that there was open availability. And I was like, yeah, maybe. And I took a picture, and I was like, tempted. And then I had like so many people respond to this. Like there was like 20 some people responded to the story. Go for it. You deserve it. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. And all I could think was, ooh, maybe I should treat myself to this because it's been a long 2 weeks. And so I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And I went up there and I said, do you guys have a table for one? And they're like, oh, it'd be just an hour. I'm like, and they said, oh, if you go over to Diamond Horseshoe, it's the same food, which I knew, but I like the theme inside of Liberty Tree Tavern better. But at that point, I had already sold my brain, like, you want to eat this food. So I went to Diamond Horseshoe and I asked them, I said, how long would it be? And they said, it's about an hour wait. I was like, oh, I was like, never mind. And then the other customer was like, whoa, 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 whoa. She's like, no, no, no. We have a party of 2 that's leaving right now. We can get you in. I was like, what? And she's like, yeah. So I've never been to a all you can eat family style restaurant by myself before. And let me tell you, it was quite the experience because so they brought up the salad and the rolls, and they still brought a family style. Like they brought a massive salad and 6 dinner rolls, and I was like, this is too much. Like I can't eat all of this. So I ate probably a quarter of the salad because I do like their salad dressing, and I ate 3 of the rolls because I love their rolls. And I probably went to eat the salad, but I knew that it would just be, it would have been wasted otherwise. So I was like, you know what, I need to eat some of the salad. And then when the waiter came back, I said, listen, for the meat portion, I just want the turkey. I love the turkey, so just feed me as much turkey as possible. You don't have to do the roast beef and the what's the other one? I can't think of the other one. It's not important. But I was like, just the turkey. Like that's the only meat that I need, and then everything else I'll eat. And he's like, okay, we can do that for you. And so he brought out a decent sized portion of food. And still, there's a lot of food. And I ate all of the stuffing. I ate all of the green beans. I ate almost all of the turkey. I ate all the white meat of the turkey, and I had like maybe half the dark meat of the turkey. I'm not a big fan of the dark meat turkey. I ate about half, maybe 3/4 of the mashed potatoes. I ate all the mac and cheese to the point where he came back. He's like, whoa, do you want more mac and cheese? And I was like, I really shouldn't because I want to save room for dessert too. And then what else is there? Oh, and then desserts. And I ate all the dessert. So yes, it was crazy. It was insane, but it was amazing. It was so good. Eating all that mac and cheese by myself was the greatest thing I think I've ever done in my life. Like I could have walked in front of traffic, and if I got hit, I would have died a happy man because it was just so delicious. Last time I ate there with one of my friends, my friend Catherine has a little girl who's like 7. Is she 7 now? No, she's 6 right now. And she was like 5 at the time when I went over there with them. And they put the mac and cheese between me and her. And I went to scoop some onto my plate, and she goes, Uncle Brent, no. That's the kids. The kids get the mac and cheese. The adults don't get the mac and cheese. And she just started eating out of the bowl. So I was like, can we have another mac and cheese? And the waiter's like, yeah, sure. So they brought another mac and cheese, and I started scooping it on. She's like, Uncle Brent, what did I say? And since then, all I've wanted was mac and cheese for myself. Like, that's all I've wanted in life. And finally, yesterday, I had the whole bowl to myself. So to answer your question, did I finish all the food on the plate at Diamond Horseshoe yesterday? Almost all of it, but not all of it. Almost all of it. Okay, let's go through. We're going to see your questions for how many cruises people have done. We have Christine's done 16 cruises. Favorite in order is Wonder, Magic, Dream, and Fantasy. You haven't done the Wish? You haven't done the Wish? Have you not done the Wish? Wait a minute. Because weren't you the person earlier who said that you didn't like the Wish? I went on one way back when it started at the premier class lines in the early 90s. It was my only cruise, and I loved it. The Big Red Boat. We have 10 Disney cruises. Favorite in order is Fantasy, Magic, Dream, Wonder. Have not been on the Wish yet. Never been on a Disney cruise. Sad face. That's very sad. That is very sad. My son has requested a Royal Caribbean cruise as his high school graduation present. Wish me luck. Honestly, I've done Royal Caribbean, and if I do not do a Disney cruise, Royal Caribbean is the one that I recommend. I've done Princess and I've done Royal Caribbean, and Royal Caribbean was a lot of fun. So if he has poor taste by not choosing Disney, at least he has a little higher class poor taste. So here's the next challenge: eat at Liberty Tree and immediately go to do a Run Disney race. We've done that. Please. We finished eating at Liberty Tree Tavern one night at 10 o'clock. We had to be up at 2:30 for the race, and we ran at 5 o'clock. So no big deal. I would have collapsed from a food coma after that. Yeah, Brent Dodge continues his ride count like nothing happened. Yeah, you got to ride rides. I did 21 attractions yesterday, so I'm very proud of that number. I've not done the Wish. All the reviews make me not want to do it, but in order to continue my Grand Slam, I must go on. Hands down, it's my favorite ship. It's so well done. The way I explain it to people is because the number one complaint I've heard about the Wish is that it's not like the other ships, and that's what I love about it. Because if I were to go, for instance, to Disneyland, the park, not like the resort, the park, then I went to Magic Kingdom, Disneyland Paris, and Shanghai Disneyland. I've done 4 amazing parks. All of them are great parks. And they all have great theming. They all have things, and they're all very similar to one another. They all kind of have that copy paste idea with different changes amongst them. And then you go on the Wish, and it's like going to Epcot. It's still that Disney park. It's still a great park, but it's something completely different than what you're used to. And that's what I keep on telling people. I'm like, you need to give it the chance, and you need to think, oh, like, you can't go into it thinking, oh, like it's not the same type of thing, so I don't like it. The thing I loved about the Wish is the fact that it's so different than the other ships. I felt like I was going on to a brand new experience than what I had gone the previous ones. So, yes, give Wish a chance. Go if you go in with that mindset. I promise you, it's gonna be great. One of my friends went on there, and I told them that, and they're like, "Yes, that's exactly how you have to look at it," because the other 4 ships, all amazing ships. I love all 4 other ships, but once you go on and you kind of have that in your mindset of it's still a Disney cruise, but it's a completely different cruise. It's like going to Epcot or Studios or Animal Kingdom or California Adventure. It's still going to be a great thing. It's just a different thing than what we're used to. And once you get into that mindset, it's an amazing, amazing, amazing ship. There's just so much detail, so much. Oh, there's so much. I just want to go back on the Wish so bad. Like, it's been almost a year, and it kills me that it's been almost a year. What ship do you recommend for someone doing their first ever Disney cruise? Ooh, that's a good question. I like I said, I personally love the Wish. I feel like the Wish would be a good one to do, but at the same time, I feel like it is like I said, like it is like going to Epcot after going to Magic Kingdom. I feel like it would be a really cool one. I think doing the Fantasy was a great one. That was my first cruise because there was enough to do on it. There was enough to explore, and there was enough activity going on. And I feel like it embodies the power of cruising. I maybe the Fantasy, maybe the Dream. honestly, I think all 5 of them are great chips to start on. But I think one of the great things about like the I think specifically Fantasy, Dream, and Wish is the fact that you also have the Aqua Mouse or the Aqua Duck on board, so it gives you a little bit more to do than on the other ships. But the Dream and the Fantasy are great because they also have things like the mini golf, and they have a lot of different trivia and stuff. I mean, the other ones have trivia too, but all of them are great. Why don't you do a 6-month Disney Cruise crew member contract? I've honestly looked at it multiple times, like multiple times, to the point where once a month I get emails from Disney Cruise Line saying, "Hey, here's new job openings that are this month's job openings if you want to apply." The main reason I have not, and it's going to sound weird, but just because I love it so much, is because of the Run Disney. It really is. I love Run Disney so much, um, and I can't imagine giving up my Run Disney races unless like because even then you're like in port for 12 hours and then you're out again. So I couldn't even get over to Epcot's parking lot and do all 3 races. But the Castaway Key marathons, they're 5Ks. I'm wearing the hat right now. Castaway Key 5K. They're not the same. And then the Castaway Key 5K, I always have to do the Castaway Key 5K, but it's not the same. Like there's no characters on course. You're running at your own pace. There's no entertainment out there. It would I still do it because it's my tradition. I have to do the Castaway Key 5K, but yeah, and plus I don't know. Like at some point maybe. Um, I would have to find like the perfect like if there was like a 3-month contract that was after one Run Disney race and before I go up home for the Dodge Cup, that would be the perfect time to do it. You guys got me talking with questions. Okay, let's do one more question. Send a question out there. While you guys send your last question out, I'm gonna check out our subscriber count. If our subscriber count went up, we will go into extra innings. Otherwise, our next question will be our last question. And we are currently at where's that? 1,116, which was the number that we started off at. Oh, hey, do you think the Moana area at Epcot will have long waits when it opens? Can you imagine trivia on the ship when Brent is the host? Let's answer both of those questions. One, I do think that we will get somewhat long waits. Also, by the way, we'll answer. There's 3 questions up there. Christine's question about what's your favorite ice cream. That'll be our last question, unless you guys get us another subscriber. Then we'll go into more extra names. Do you think Moana area at Epcot will have long waits when it opens? I think it'll have somewhat long waits. I don't think it's going to be ridiculously long. So it's a walk-through attraction. It's a go at your own pace. The very first time that we ever went, we were in there for about 50 minutes, maybe 45. I think it was like 50 minutes. Maybe it was 55. I think it was 55. We were in there for 55 minutes. So you do have a lot of time in there, like if you want to. And then when I went with my other friends last Friday, I went with 2 of my friends. My friends Ben and Deanna. They took me through I was their guest, and for them we were in there for about half an hour, and both times we had people who were going faster than us. We also had people who were going slower than us. So I think it really comes down to how long people are going to be in there. Can you imagine? Can you imagine trivia on the ship with Brent as the host? So I'll tell a good story because I think this is a funny story. We always talk about that. Well, first off, this last one we went on was the Fantasy, and we had these people who were cheating. Like they would like I've talked about this before on the show. But like if the question was like, what was Mickey Mouse's original name going to be? They would yell out like Mickey, and they're like, nope, that's wrong. And then they're like, it's Mortimer. And then they would be like, oh, and they would like, say they're wrong. And then all of a sudden at the end they go, anyone have a perfect score? And they'd raise their hand. I'm like, no, you guys were shouting out the wrong answers. There's no way you have a perfect score. So when they would go through and do that's a completely different story. But the thing that always drives me crazy is when people do cheat on the things, but there was one time when the first time I was on the Dream. It was in 2013, March 2013 to be exact. And while we were on board, it was me, my cousin, and my cousin's family, along with my family and my grandpa. And when we were on board, we started doing the trivia, and we won the first one, and then we won the second one, and then we won the third one. And there was always this mother daughter who was showing up for all the different trivia competitions with us. And there was one time where we were running a little late. Like we still got there before the trivia started, but we walked in and this mother daughter stood up and they walked out of the room. And my cousin's husband thought it was the funniest thing that he's ever seen in life. Like he could not stop laughing about it. And he's usually a very quiet guy. So the fact that he was laughing so hard about it, it made my day. So every time I think about the trivia, that's what I think about. But a lot of the trivia questions on the cruise are not even written by the cast members or the crew members. They're written by someone else. Because there's been a few times where like at the end I'm like, so just to let you know, this answer and this answer and this answer are wrong. And every time the people I'm with are like, you don't have to tell them. I'm like, no, because they're wrong. Like they need to learn the real ones. And the final question here of the night, unless we got a new subscriber in the last few minutes, what's your favorite ice cream on board? Favorite ice cream on board? The chocolate ice cream from the ice cream. It's the best. I love the chocolate. The chocolate cones is the best. All right, let's see. Do we have any more subscribers join us over the last few minutes? We did. Yay! We went up to 3,117. Okay. Let's see if anyone else out there has any questions. Again, if we keep on getting subscribers, we'll continue our show. Are you ever relieved the count hasn't gone up so you get slightly more sleep? No. So the last week for my subscribers the last 2 weeks have been really slow moving. It's been very slow moving, and it's been frustrating for me because one person actually told me, they're like, oh, I unsubscribed to give you like so you're closer to. I'm like, no, don't do that, because every time you unsubscribe, that makes it look worse. Like then it's telling the YouTube algorithm, oh, this guy's got stuff that people don't want to see anymore. They're leaving him. So please do not unsubscribe. I want you guys to win the challenge, and I want to have it so. But yeah, I would like more sleep. I don't sleep much. I slept quite a bit last night. I needed to sleep, so I really slept a lot last night. I almost got 8 hours. It's the most I've had for a long time. But yeah, no, I do need more sleep, but I need more subscribers. I need more attractions. My goal this week is I want to, hopefully, I've done 47 attractions, I think it is so far this week, or wait, no, 41 so far. And so I want to hit maybe 70 this week, if not a little bit more. Tomorrow should be a busy day. We'll see. I have no idea. Are you going to keep going hard on the attractions 2024? I'll still probably keep track of all of them because I actually really enjoy keeping track of all of them. I'm just not sure if I'll turn it into a whole competition because that's been insane. What's your favorite souvenir you've gotten from Disney Cruise Line? Ooh. I've always liked this. This is the Disney Fantasy inaugural magical, what's it say on there? Magical Preview Cruise, March 26th to 29th, 2012. This was the cruise that we won by doing the scavenger hunt back in 2011, and then we won the cruise for 2012. So I've always have loved that. I've got so many of those things too, because they're handing out champagne, and me and my friends were like, "Oh, we got to get as many as possible." And so we kept on either drinking the champagne or pouring it down a drain, running the glasses down to our room. They're like, "Yeah, you want another one? Here you go." I'm like, "Yes." I forgot. Have you said what your attraction count goal is for the year? It's just to beat the amount of subscribers I have by the end of the year. That's my main goal. You're too competitive to try and not beat your 2023 attraction goal. That is my problem, because I got a feeling that that I might do that. I hit 1,400 today. I think I'm at 1,407. Today was a kind of a slow day. We did One Man's Dream. Wait. One Man's Dream, Aliens to Rolling Saucers, Toy Story Mania, Star Tours, Tower of Terror, Tower of Terror, Tower of Terror. No, there was something else there too. I think I did 8 today. What was the other thing I did? Now I'm drawing a blank. I don't know. I can't remember. That's why I keep a list. Would you ever do a crazy challenge where you pick one attraction to ride as many times as you can in a week? Stay tuned. That's all I'm going to say. Stay tuned because I have an idea for a crazy challenge, and it is beyond crazy. And it's something down that line, but it's in a day. But let me just say that if things go well, I will have one day where I do a specific attraction almost 100 times. So we'll see. We'll see. It's I have an idea. I just need to figure out the day and time where I can wake up early enough to get to the park, the specific park where this attraction is, and just start going all day long. All day long until they say you have to leave, sir. You're scaring the children. When does the Disney Cruise Line book come out? I don't know. I really don't know. I need more time. I worked on it a little bit last night, or maybe it was 2 nights ago. It was 2 nights ago. 2 nights ago when I got home from work, I worked on it for about 20 minutes probably. I just need more time. Like that's my biggest struggle in life is I just don't have enough time to do a lot of stuff, especially when I have a job that I work for about 35, 36 hours a week. And then in addition to that, I'm doing daily videos, daily Instagram, daily shorts, a lot of different stuff. So yeah, I just need to go through and figure it all out. The cast members are already like, here comes Brent. That is true. I had yesterday where I was leaving Barnstormer and the one cast member, there's 2 of them there things. The one cast member said, have a good night. And the other cast member said, he'll be back. If you did a Disney Cruise Line contract, would you have to stop writing your books for that time? Okay. Maybe. It's an iffy one right now. So I talked to my neighbor who is a manager for Disney, pretty high up manager. And I talked to him about it, and he said, you really should work for Disney. And I said, well, I would, but then I would have to stop doing the books and stuff. And he's like, I could probably find an exception for you. Like I could put in the thing saying this guy's allowed to write books still, do his videos, and still work for Disney. But that would probably be for Disney World and not Disney Cruise Line. So it's all up in the air. I just have to figure it out. How many attractions do you need to average a day to beat your subscriber count? Let's figure that out right now. Okay, because right now we are at 3,117. What's 3,117 divided by 365? So we need to average 8.539 attractions per day. If I would have taken this seriously from the start, because the first 4 months I was like, oh, okay, I'm just keeping track. And then all of a sudden one day I was like, oh, it'd be kind of cool to see if I could beat the subscriber count. And then all of a sudden after that, I was just like, oh man. Well, not counting the days so literally every time I get off a ride, I divide it by what number day it is. So my last ride was 1,407th attraction, divided by today was the 249th day. So I'm right now I'm at averaging 5.65062 days. So in this year, I've missed a total of 25 days. I've not been in the state of Florida. So in reality, it would be 1,407 divided by 224. So, but it's still the year. So if I miss a day, I miss a day. So there was just days where I was averaging 0. And, unfortunately, that's the way it is. That's how this competition's going down. But I should be I don't think I've got one. There might be one day that I'm not. I'll be in the state of Florida. I'm just doing a run over on in Tampa or at Clearwater with one of my friends. So I'm hoping. I already told him. I said when we finish that race, we're coming back to the parks. Like we need to get the rides done, man. What's the most attractions you've done in one day this year? There was one day I did. I think it was 49. I want to say was my most. You guys are really killing it right now. By the way, you guys are fully distracting the fact that we were supposed to end 15 minutes ago. We're all here rooting for you, Brent, on that. Um, we'll see. We'll see. I think I've got potential. My goal is sometime in the next 2 weeks I should be passing up the halfway point of how many subscribers I have. You did. You definitely got more than an extra in. You got like an extra quarter. Let's see. Do we get any more subscribers? We're still at 3,117. So we're moving on up. Ooh, actually, this hour. What's going on? Something's going crazy right now. The Flounder video is taking off again. So this is the last 48 hours for the Flounder video. 3,242 views. As you can see, the one that's on the far left there is quite a few views. And then if we go to the last 60 minutes, it's at 92 views, which is pretty darn good for 1 hour on a video that was posted 3 days ago or 2 days ago. Hey, get me as many subscribers as you want. I want the difficulty. The more subscribers we get, the closer I am to leaving my job and doing it full time. Oh yeah. We will see. We will see what happens. Okay, so I think we're going to wrap this up right here. As always, tonight's episode is sponsored by It's All About the Mouse Travel Jazz Hands. Make sure you stop by It's All About the MouseTravel.com for all of your Disney travel needs. All of their services are absolutely positively 100% free. So make sure you book with them for your next Disney vacation. I'd like to thank everyone out there for joining us once again this week. Please keep on spreading the word about the Wednesday show and from Screen to Theme, and invite anyone and everyone to join the group over on Facebook for here. But you don't have to right now because I can't even get on Facebook. Oh, maybe someday soon. And also make sure you get as many subscribers over here as possible to make this as difficult as possible for me to try to get on as many attractions as possible throughout the rest of the year. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. I hope you guys all enjoyed the show tonight. As always, remember that anything can happen if you let it. Until next week, have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Bye-bye now. Goodbye. Are they gone? Are they gone? Well, good. My cheeks are just killing me. I just can't stand this kind of